What's up, YouTube? It's Reggie, and I read a few chapters more yesterday, last. I just keep reading my Bible now, whenever. So now I'm on chapter 25. So if you want to follow along, we're in Deuteronomy chapter 25. No, 26. Actually. Is it? Yeah, it's 26. No, definitely on 25. My bad for the confusion. Okay, it says laws concerning human relations. If there be a controversy between men and they come unto judgment, that the judges may judge them, that they justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. It shall be that if the wicked man be worthy to be beaten, move the mic over so you can hear me. I'm sorry. I apologize. Alright. It shall It shall be if the wicked man worthy to be beaten, that the judge shall cause him to lie down, be beaten before his face, according to his fault, as by a certain number. 40 stripes he may give, and not exceed, lest if he should exceed and beat him above these many stripes, then thy brother should vow unto thee. Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn. Duty of a husband's brother. If brethren dwell together, and one of them die, and have no children, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in to her, and take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her. And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of it, Israel. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, and then let his brother's wife go up into the gates unto the elders, and say, my husband's brother refuses to raise up his brother and name in Israel, he will not perform the duty of his husband's brother. Then the elders of the city shall call him and speak unto him. And if he stand to it and say, I like not to take her, then it shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elder, and loose his shoe from his foot, spit in his face, and shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto the man that will not build up unto his brother's house, and his name shall be called in Israel, the house of him that have his shoe loosened. Immodest woman. When men strive. Hold on. Oh. 1 second. Sorry, my nose be pump faking me. Alright. It says, when men strive together one another, and the wife of the one draweth near for to deliver her husband out of the hand of that smitteth him, and put forth her hand, and taketh him away by the secrets, then thou shalt cut off her hand, thy eye shall not pity her. Just waits. Thou shalt not have in the divers weights, a great and a small. Thou shalt not have in thy house divers messages, a great and small. But thou shalt have a perfect and just weight, a perfect and just measure shalt thou have, that the days may be lengthened in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. For all that do such things, and all that do unrighteous, are all abominations unto the Lord thy God. Blot out Amalek. Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee by the way, and smote the hiddest of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee. When thou wast faint and weary, he feared not God. Therefore it shall be, when the Lord thy God hath given thee rest from all thy enemies around about in the land which the Lord God thy God giveth thee for an inheritance to possess, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, thou shalt not forget it. So that's the full chapter, and now let's read the speaker notes. It says, limiting the number of lashes addresses the fine balance between judges and mercy. The first century practice of inflicting 39 lashes was to ensure that no more than 40 would be accidentally applied. Mercy and application of the law extended even to the treatments of animals, which were to share fruits of their labor. Paul applied this principle, paying a fair wage to those who engaged in ministry. Passing a man's name to future generation was so important that if a man should die, his widow was to attempt to have a son by one of his brothers-in-law. This was called the Levirate custom. Interpreters differ over the meaning of this passage. One possibility is that a woman who forcefully grabbed her husband's opponent by his genitals during the fight was to be punished so severely because her act was emasculating the assailant to the point that he might be unable to serve children. What I learned from this chapter, it was kind of short. I feel like a lot of it was addressing the Old Testament, like the laws on the Old Testament. But I think a key takeaway I can take from this is that basically at that time, as far as like having sex with brother to produce the name, we don't have to worry about that because we don't have like a generation we're trying to. Yeah, no, that's not current. But as far as um being loyal, here, let me see when it says when it says um 40 stripes he may give. I said loyal. I meant fair, like being fair. I think that when it says in chapter 25, verse 3, it says, 40 stripes he may give him, and not exceed, lest if he exceed and beat him above these many stripes, then thy brother shall seem vile unto thee. I think that just shows that, like, fair punishment, as far as in the Old Testament, they really emphasized just punishments. Like, if you have a certain punishment, do that, like, the 39 licks, but if you went over that, that was OD. The same way, regardless of, like, God always gives us punishments, and sometimes He'll give us like trials that we go through in our life, and they're always stuff that we can survive and get through. Like, God doesn't give us a challenge or any adversity that we can't deal with. Like, and I've been through a lot, you know what I'm saying? At times I definitely blame God, but at the end of the day, I think that a lot of this stuff has built me to become the better man. Like, losing people, like, in my past, like, as far as losing them to death, it just made me, like, get, like, at first, when it happened, I wasn't that close to God, so I was just angry at that point. But now that I look back, it's like, it just gives me something to strive for and look forward to when I go to heaven. Like, it's like, then I get to meet up with them again. So I just got to work every day to do my part on earth and not live for the world, so that I can guarantee I go to heaven, you know? So I can see those people again. Another thing is like a lot of experiences I went through. I feel like a lot of those experiences I needed to go through so I could give testimony, because like even the bear situation, how many times God done healed me and I done got injured. Like, yeah, I had that initial pain and that initial fear, but I got through it and I lived to tell the story. So I feel like that's a big, powerful testimony, because you can't, like, when you're talking about your personal experience, it is different because now you can speak from the heart, and it's like I've seen it more times than I can deny it, you know? So it just gives me something to look back forward to and be like, yeah, let me keep working, because I know at the end of the day it all works out for the better. So whatever trials and tribulations you might be going through, I urge you to just keep pushing through, keep locking into your word, and just keep talking to God about everything. Like, talk to Him about the positive and negative, how you're feeling. Like, instead of snapping on people if you're feeling like a type of way towards them, just tell God how you're feeling. He'll take that emotion away, and now you just got it out in a positive way instead of going to those people. Because God always says to love people. And I know me, I get frustrated by a lot of things people do, and I be like, God, like, I know I'm frustrated by this. Like, I gotta let you know, like, this junk annoys me, but I still love them. Like, I wish them the best, but it's just like, God, you see the BS that I just deal with, you know? And when you're honest with him, it's just like, he be like, all right, just let it rock, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm glad you got it out. Now keep moving forward. And that's how it should be, as far as, instead of you holding that anger, that emotion in and trying to, like, thug it out until you snap, because that's how you break it. That's how you get to the point where anyone says anything to you, you're going to swing on them. That's how you get to the point where you crash out, basically. Like, it's easy to crash out in this world when there's so much stuff that you could get mad about, like road rage. There's a lot of negativity in the world. I don't really have to go in detail, but when the negativity hits, you got to come to the person that can actually change anything and make a change in your life and remove that anger and that pain, whatever you're feeling, and that's God. So come to Him about everything, and I promise you it'll get better. Stay blessed, and I'll be back tomorrow.